for this year. And those guys over there, they're going to make a hell of a lot of noise if Vitality can lift back-to-back major trophies that only the gods of Counter-Strike can do. Then we have FaZe. You can call it magic, you can call it madness, but this team always impresses. They might be the fan favorite, but this is a team that doesn't give up. They've been in multiple grand finals, but could this be the time where they lift that trophy? Then we have, finally, Na'Vi! The first ever CS2 major champions. A dominant team, but they have fallen, and now they are trying to rise again. They are looking for redemption, and now they believe 6 months later, the Blade effect can kick in, and they have a chance of going better than anyone expected them, silencing all the doubters. So Budapest, I have one thing to ask you. Are you ready?
Так, ну у нас, собственно, все команды выходят. Поехали, давай.
Welcome on stage. Team Spirit.
Вот они, мужчины идут, блядь. Димочка Соколов, Леня Вишняков, Ваня Гогин, Даниил Крышковец и Андрей, фамилию не помню его, блядь. И Серега Халля. Серега фамилию не знаю. Тоже не помню.
Welcome on stage.
Vitality. Вот они, слева направо. Лох, лох, лох. И еще пару лохов. Ну и на тренере лысый чел с лапецей.
Chopper, after Falcons, you said that it feels like you've seen the boss in Elden Ring. Another boss is right there. They've been slaying you all year. What do you have story for us?
I think it's same line. I think we can win. Let's try.
As Wei and multiple players in Spirit told us that whenever you cheer for them, they are playing so much better. So are you taking this responsibility today not only to call well as a captain, but to keep the atmosphere up in the ranks of Spirit?
Он, короче, сказал, что типа после победы над Фальконами, да, Люлин сказал, что это был как босс в Элден-ринге, которого надо было победить. Какой босс типа сейчас напротив него стоит? Он сказал, что да, похуй, типа выиграем.
Not sure, we don't have any advantage. It's best team in the world in this year, and we try to make our job best. That's it.
Chopper, I wish you good luck.
Чоппер.
Apex.
Ну.
What do we think of this reaction today?
I don't know, it's both, I guess. It's booing and clapping. They don't know what to think about me, you know? So it's funny, it's good.
I know you enjoy it, but also I got to ask, the first game you played against Mongols, dominant, solid victory for the team. What does it tell you about the form that this Vitality have? Are you peaking at the right time like you want to do?
Maybe, I don't know. Today we'll answer that question, I guess. It was only a quarterfinal with the Mongols that I've played with a stand-in that never played on stage. Today, it's another story. We play against a really good Spirit, a team that showed a really good level since the beginning of the event. So once again, it's to focus on ourselves, giving our best, and yeah, trying to get that final spot tonight.
And looking at that, you said focus on yourselves. Have you focused on your individual level to come in a bit sharper as well and step it up from what you showed in that first game?
Yeah, I mean, if my teammate played the same way they played against Mongols, I guess it's already GG. But if I step up a bit more, it's gonna be helpful. I've been awful on the Mongols game, but that's life, that's CS. You need to reset, no time to cry, and now it's another day and another opportunity.
All right, thank you very much, man. Good luck. Mixed reactions from everyone in Budapest. Now there's a certain group over there. Let me start you off. What does it go? La 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 la. Okay. But there was some boos for Vitality and Apex at the same time. So there must be some Spirit fans! All right, let's try have some fun here. If I point to your side of the stage, I only want to hear this side, then this side, then this side. So get ready. Make some noise here! Over here! 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 All right, and now, one final time before we get into this semi-final matchup. It's Spirit, Vitality. Everyone, make some noise!
Two players who define modern-day Counter-Strike now clashing in this epic duel. Both know what it means to win, but also what it means to lose on a stage of this caliber. And today, this will not only decide who lives on in Budapest, but potentially who can tip the scales for the best player of 2025. We cannot understate, Jacob, how much is at stake in our first semi-final.
It's a massive game of Counter-Strike. As Maui said it, if you have Spirit being your second best team of the year, Vitality being the best team of the year, you have what arguably could have, should have, and maybe will be a grand final of a major someday in the future as well. Today's a semi-final, Maui. You have to book your ticket into that best of 5 grand final, and what stands is your way, if you're looking at each opposition, is either Donk or Saivu. We cannot hone in on it enough. Obviously, Counter-Strike is a team game. You need everyone to contribute, but when Donk is playing like this and Saivu is playing like this, it is obviously a focus.
Mirage.
And we see where our battleground will take place. We get the pick of Mirage actually out of Vitality. I'm a little surprised by that one, actually. Spirit going for the
Девяностый
Dust 2
пас.
over past
Понятненько.
Decider. Also a little bit of a shocker when we get there. But no, for the opener on Mirage there, that was the final map that these two teams played against each other in the recent Blast Rivals Hong Kong. And it went to overtime. I'm a little bit shocked that Apex in the pregame interview for that Hong Kong game said that the clear weak spot for Spirit is Nuke. And yet they don't actually go for it in the first phase there. So I guess he saw something that he liked in Spirit's earlier series at this event.
I'll tell you why they're not surprised and why I'm not surprised. They've played it 4 times versus Spirit in 2025, and Vitality have won every single time. Mirage has been part of that matchup in every single matchup they've had between the two, and every single time Vitality has come out as victories. Yes, they won in overtime last time around, but they also won 13-10, 13-8, and 13-11. So in that regard, I feel like Vitality are going into a map that they have very, very much success on when it comes specifically to Spirit.
Odds are looking very close if we look at our partner odds that were just flashing up there on screen. But we have all sided with Vitality. There's a couple of reasons probably for that. One of them has got to be the hot starts that they've been having here at the Major as well, right?
Yeah, we speak about, you know, best of ones. We speak about MR12. Now we're heading into a best of 3. But in isolation, every single map, the pistol and conversion is super, super important. Vitality, ever since losing the first 2 pistol rounds in the tournament versus FaZe in a game they lost in a best of 1, they won 11 out of 12 pistol rounds in this tournament against some of the greatest teams the game have to offer. They've been kings of hot starts. They're converting a fair few of them as well. So if that continues in here and they're going to win the vast majority of the pistol rounds, that's a massive win condition for Vitality and the boys.
I'm almost upset that I was forced to make a prediction in this one, if I'm being honest. Looking at the veto now especially too, I feel like this is a little bit of a curveball from the Vitality side. A light one at that, but one where I think Spirit has looked great on Mirage. I think their T side looked reinvigorated. When they played against Mouse were unsure where those bomb site hits were always going to end. So even if they don't have a great CT side start, I think Spirit can bring this one back.
Spirit versus Vitality, Donk versus ZywOo. It is time to get this semi-final started.
First semi-final, Team Spirit versus Vitality. Unleash the beast. Good luck and have fun.
Ну, поехали.
And so we sit ready to write an important chapter in the history books of 2025. This semifinal will be remembered as number 1 and number 2 go head-to-head in Donk versus ZywOo. There's a lot to prove on the big stage tonight.
There's amazing numbers for both of them. There's a match for ZywOo where he played against the Mongols, where he absolutely trampled them and showed us exactly how powerful he's ready to be in this playoffs. And in ZywOo's career, there have been Vitality having one easy run back at Paris, then a harder run at Austin, and now the hardest possible playoffs that we've seen ever at a major, and ZywOo starts off strong. Now that draw, playing against the Mongols, may be one of the more favorable ones. The question is, you know, we saw Mongols play so incredibly well to take out G2, to get their place in playoffs. So for Vitality to make them look like light work, obviously in retrospect, that makes it feel like, oh, with Control as they were too green, there was no chance for them to actually win. But in reality, if we saw Mongols play against another team in this top 8, you know, could they have made Falcons choke? Could they have beaten Mouse on a good day? We don't know. That's what we're here to find out in this match with a step up in competition like Spirit.
It's a step up in competition, but it's also a head-to-head that I think they enjoy, right? Map pool, strong versus Spirit. Most recent game, strong versus Spirit. Got close, but that was still the Vitality that we had questions about in regards of their ability to get back to winning ways. You know, they don't pick it up in Hong Kong. There's no hiding that, but it did still show us that Vitality are here to play at the end of the year. And, you know, there was a moment in this season where we were contrasting Vitality to Astralis, and we wanted all those records to be broken. The one thing they can still chase, back-to-back major champions. It's been a long time since it's happened, Launders, but that's the dream that they chase, and they've got to get through Spirit if they want to solidify it here in Budapest.
My favorite new Swedish proverb, no one is tired the day after victory. And what we see from Vitality, who have been pushed to the limits and are the team who have the most excuses for why they might be burnt out, exhausted, overdone when it comes to all their runs throughout the season, making it to every grand finals and winning most of the time. And the team that even in the second 6 months have still made the highest average placings of any
там
roster
массажку
in the top 10.
заказывают на вечер просто.
They're the team who now,
Нужно срочно,
on these
пока не
last
проебали.
2 days, it doesn't
Скоро все
really matter
закроется
what
уже,
you have
блядь, а
left in the
массажка не
tank.
заказана.
You can see the finish line now. They will find stamina to pick it up and show us June CS here for this major. Nothing matters now from what you've seen from Vitality on their worst days or how they could lose to G2 in a grand finals. Like that to me isn't going to be a factor in this match versus Spirit. I think we're going to get the best Vitality we've ever seen.
There's a lot of discussion back in the quarterfinals as well when it boiled down to who could handle the pressure, who would be able to do it on the major stage. Isn't it funny how with these two great rosters, that conversation has kind of faded into the background? It feels like we have that talk with quarterfinals. But then once we get to semis, we start discussing the possibility of being the champion. You know, they shed that weight and they just hopefully have the level of Counter-Strike that it would take to go up versus the other Goliath on the other side of the stage.
It's a major that this playoffs, we've just had too many stories. It's impossible to follow every good narrative because there's just a million. Like, we're obviously so lucky to have that, and it's crazy that a team like Vitality, I feel like, are even being under-talked about.
We know how it works this kind of tournament. We know how to win this tournament because we are a fucking great team, okay? You fucking insane, guys. Let's fucking play as a team, okay? Let's fucking go, guys!
There will be a lot of swearing today.
We welcome it.
A lot of motivational words. And,
Он с кольцами играет, блядь.
you know, that might be the deciding factor. I think all else equal, the great CS that we're going to see from Spirit, the great CS that Vitality will show us, all Xtaz and Hallie are going to try to do is make sure that they can cultivate those moments again. Just make sure you play your best CS. It's not about reaching a new level for either of these teams. It's about having your best day in the most important situation.
Easier said than done.
When we talk about Sway, I mean, there's no one on Vitality that has had form like Sway and then suddenly shows up and gets an ace on 2 maps.
Yeah.
Well, there's more questions about Spirit than there are for Vitality. You know, if you do what Sway did in that last series versus Falcons, you're a god. But the difference between a guy who does that in one series and the guy who does that all the time, that's the whole secret, is consistency. You know, if we're going to get that in back-to-back playoff matches, I don't know. We already had Magic's Magic back at Shanghai in the grand finals. Can Lightning strike twice for his way is another question.
I think that's the beauty of Major Counter-Strike, is that when we really get to when the lights are brightest, sometimes you don't see the superstar coming. You know, and we want to talk about being a consistent superstar. That's great when you're talking about accolades in a season of Counter-Strike. There's 2 matches left for any team remaining in this tournament to lift that trophy. 2 matches. And if you want to have your moment, the best, say, map of your career, like Zway did in the quarterfinal, that's a hell of a time to have it. Are we going to look to Tanir? Is Donk going to take over? What about the Shiro clutches that we've had to yet really mention? You know, there are more pieces to Spirit as the challengers, I'd say.
Just the fact that it was an environment that we could see Zway be so successful in tells us a lot. I think that we know now, seeing that situation, that it's possible. That's the first step, right? The question is it possible? But then we remember, Zway's already got a Cologne with Team Spirit. No, he wasn't playing that well in that Cologne run. But to lift the trophy, that says more than anything else.
Well, thank you for your patience. Budapest, 2 semifinals and a best-of-5 grand final is all that remains. I look around and I see a hell of a crowd ready to get this game going. So, one more time, let's hear you roar!
Поехали. Пишет у нас виталити, видите задание. Начинает прорабатывать маленько. Ой-ой-ой. Пиздец. Получает поебальничку с кидания. Ситуация 1-3.
What was that? Pimp 11 out of 12 pistols in this event so far for Vitality. Well, it looks like that trend might be broken unless Mezzi can pull out the clutch of a lifetime. That's Donk waking up warm. Straight out the microwave into the server here on Mirage. even with ZywOo's fantastic, unbelievable performance versus Mongols, that didn't even catch him up to the stats that Donk has put out still.
Mezzi just trying to catch it on the jump.
You know what?
Everybody else is far off. I mean, Mezzi's pregame conversation is all about composure. And look at that CT run into the cover. This is going to give Mezzi the space he needs to plant. It's not the space he needs to win necessarily, but bomb down, that's half of the job done. Money in the coffers. And they give him a good amount of space as well to try to reposition. He cuts down Chopper, and Shiro's going to end it right then and there before we get too exaggerated.
I mean, Donk is just sitting there like, just please don't blow this situation. It's a great plant out of Mezzi, to be honest. That round looked like there was absolutely no chance to get a way back in. And yeah, for Spirit, they start off with a pistol. This is a huge 3K out of Donk. Supported, well supported by Chopper's flash. We won't just walk by that.
Ну, Шира, блядь, АВП на втором раунде. W.
Arm and hammer, those two. By comes in off the fact that Messi put together that bomb plan. But with that knowledge, Shiro's got an op.
Проход андеграунд у нас сейчас мутится потихоньку.
Based on what we saw from Vitality, but with a pistol, if they get the hot start that Vitality get in every single game, then we can talk. Then maybe we got something interesting.
I mean, Jacob brought up that pistol success stat for Vitality.
Тенир получает поебальничку, остается на 4
хп. Go the other way is something to work with. Oh God, Tenier burns out.
That was such a great Molotov. He hit him with the dink and
just at the end,
it was
right?
14 HP.
And look at the way the Vitality just sulk back into their cover. You know, job's kind of halfway done with that opening kill through the window.
It's a wild-looking position. You've actually got Robs camping out 3 players who are rotating quietly around him, and Chopper doesn't realize all the action's coming in his direction.
That smoke is temporary. 55 seconds. Guns, of course, afforded by that bomb plant in the round prior. This is a very real threat for Chopper. He can kind of feel it coming, so chucks that nade out just in case and will do damage.
Great rotations, actually.
Shiro standing back here. That's not a scout either. Full on op.
Nice, Dima.
And so he connects.
Nice, Danya.
He's going to collect a headshot as well. There's more than just Chopper within this bomb site. What could have just been a frag grenade
Nice, Danya, nice,
Danya.
Ну, все хорошо.
A rock solid defense.
Шипос.
Team Spirit off of the op and Donk sitting in that site. Make sure that Vitality's purchase is all in vain.
We had the honor of casting the Spirit victory over Falcons, where they kind of forced them to, you know, mess that game up. They made a comeback happen on Dust 2. They looked super solid overall. To be honest, it was on many levels that happened, right? That was a 2-0. One of those levels was the fact that Team Spirit's preparation looked fantastic.